Yes, guys, we're back again for another episode.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are well.
Trust me.
How you doing, AB?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
How you doing, Poet RS?
Festive.
Yeah?
Ready.
Festive, you know.
Festive.
Wow, okay. I'm good too. Guys, don't forget, please hit the like, subscribe, smash the notification bell, and please, for those of you that
Slap
haven't,
it.
please, please don't forget to do that as well. Thank you, AB. I appreciate the input there. But what we're going to talk about is something actually very, very important and very serious. But, you know, we'll try and do it in a lighthearted way as we do. This is really about why is there still bullying in schools, right? And listen, this is quite close to my heart, to be honest. This is quite close to my heart.
Facts.
I'll be honest. Bullying, I remember even back when in school, I remember bullying, even when back in, I can remember year 7. Like I remember the 11s were like relentless, bullying all the 7s, like, and they used to come in groups, and it used to be crazy, putting hands in pocket, taking change, all kinds of mess.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know what it's like down south.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's mad.
It's dog eat dog.
Yep.
You man, we're living in Iraq at that time.
I'm telling you, South London was not easy.
This guy here, bro.
Yeah,
Schooled in his caviar on biscuits.
I'm telling you, anyone that knows South London knows it's not easy.
Even certain games in the playground used to turn to beef for no reason.
I was like, what? You know those ones where you're crouching down with the coins?
Right.
You know?
Right. Or you dash the
I
ball
thought
in
it was
the
a
wall.
prison.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not even going to go too deep into it. But I'll tell you what.
I was rolling dice.
Well, I saw was dice.
They still do it there, you know.
And this is 7, you know. I'm like new. I'm like fresh off primary.
Yeah.
And I'm coming into this mad new build. You know how big the buildings look when
Yeah,
you're
man.
coming in. Big building, big people, everything looked different. So I remember, no, this is not right. You know, like I looked, I need help. You know, you know, I looked around year 7. I thought, I need help.
Yeah.
Someone help me. And like, you know how it was. You don't get help. You don't ask for help because I'm not gonna snitch. I'm not gonna say nothing to anyone. I'm just gonna be a man at age 11 and just step up, and fight back. You know that kind of
course,
thing.
you have to.
Because when they see you looking vulnerable,
You know that look in your eye.
Mate, there was this guy that I used to go to school with. Everyday victim, bruv. I said one time, and you know what? I had to back it for him. Like one time, I had to be like, leave him alone.
Yeah.
This and that. One point, I got tired, bruv. Like I remember he was behind me, and like, how could a guy come out of nowhere and he had like a little ball head? That's all he heard. That's that thing.
Oh no!
And then they kept on doing it again and again, and like he was looking at me to say something, and I said, bruv, do something about it. Like, and to do something doesn't always need to be violent.
yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Your words can stop.
Just almost standing up with your body and words is enough.
Because
Yeah.
I used to greet my friend every time I used to, like, his younger brother, I used to punch him in the arm, like, yeah, you're right. So that he told me to stop. Me as a young teen, I said, why? You know what I mean? And he goes, because I don't like it. And I said, rah. And I stopped. You know what I mean? Like, words, they're powerful. Like, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid.
I think I'll just before Poet, just one quick one, because I wanted to say something, which is like, even though like we might be jesting and talking and joking about it, there is a serious side, because I think for me, I think it made me stronger eventually.
Yeah.
And it made me like who I am.
Yeah.
But at the time, it wasn't nice, and it was kind of scary until I grew strength over the time. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I'll come in again later.
But you know, you're forcibly, like you're forced to grow that strength.
That's right.
It's not a natural growth.
No, it's not.
It's not a natural growth.
No,
but
it's not.
I find like bullying's like a coin. I find it's like a coin because like you grew from it.
Yeah.
You developed your own character from it, right? But then there's those that they'll suffer and they'll sink.
Yeah.
They'll sink and that's it, done. Game's over.
And that'll break them mentally.
100% it will.
Yeah. And some
100%.
don't recover.
100% they don't.
Yeah, some don't recover.
100%.
And the adult age, they're still affected by it to this day.
Yeah, they look back.
Yeah.
Like we had a boy when I was in school, got bullied every day. Every day he got bullied. To the point where, when I say it was bad, like it was bad. And I remember the last day of school, because he went to the sixth form, or the last day of school, he got on his moped and he put his helmet on and just pee dripping down all over his face. And like he just like went home. That was it. Just went home. Everybody was laughing at him. I was like, nah, you lot are out of order.
Yeah.
And obviously nobody knew who it was because no one's saying that.
Yeah.
So it was just like, you lot are out of order. Years later, I'm talking maybe 5, 6, 7 years later, he jumped on YouTube, put a video on YouTube saying, you know, how he was bullied in school, this, that, and the other, out in so many people's names that were bullying him. And then he went to Thailand and he, you know, what's it called? He changed his sex. He changed his sex. He became a woman, fell in love, got married, you know, living his best life or her best life, even living her best life. But it's like, I wonder sometimes if she didn't get bullied when she was a he, would that still happen?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even though she's happy and whatever have you, right? And you know, like more power, like do your thing.
Yeah.
Like all of those actions came about because of the bullying. So some people they crumble. Look how many people have committed suicide because of bullying.
Yeah. Even like, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
There's many stories.
Taking their own life.
There's many stories.
So many.
And sad stories.
So much.
And that's why I think I'm coming to the point where bullying can be very, very detrimental to mental well-being and the health. See, like you said, it can go either way.
Yeah,
I think for me, the way I saw it like a challenge, and then I actually grew. And then I remember, and now looking back, I think it was kind of, there was a positivity within it because I'm strong mentally. I feel like a lot of things, it takes a lot to break me, right? But at the same time, I know it can have a detrimental effect on many, many people.
Yeah.
So let's talk like as a teacher now, because we talked as kids, as students, right? It was rife. It was everywhere. And you know what? It still is. It's in every school. Bullying exists. Now, I know we've got these anti-bullying week and we got things these days.
What's a week, really?
Yeah.
Like, what's a week?
Like thing to focus on it, right? They're trying to focus on bullying more. But it's still there and it still exists.
Yeah.
But can we stop it? And if we can, how? Because this is what I want to get to. Because look, when we got our kids, right? And the kids are going to school, right? If your child got bullied, you wouldn't like it.
Not at all.
Never.
Right?
Not at all.
You would not like it. So we have to put our parent heads on and teacher heads on in a way. It needs to stop, really. Right?
Facts.
It needs to stop,
Yeah,
right?
it has to. Yeah.
Yeah, so how?
I personally feel like if you know a child has been bullied or a group of kids bully that one, they need to have harsher punishment. They need to even have like a rule to be 20 meters away. Because sometimes, and I know teachers can't always be everywhere, the eyes can't be everywhere all the time, but you need to make a conscious effort that, listen, this child cannot go nowhere, this child. Yeah. If you want the person that's being bullied need to have a safe space card or, you know, be in the classroom.
I really like that. You're right. And I'm going to add something, right? Bullying in my classroom doesn't exist. Right? The bullying does not exist in my classroom. I'll tell you later on in other episodes why, because my classroom management is pretty strong, right?
Yeah.
You guys know. So I don't tolerate any kind of misbehavior by students.
Yeah.
I will never see bullying in a class. In fact, it will not happen, right? Because I'm really strong. I don't like it. I don't like bullying. So I make sure not only classroom management and how they behave, conduct themselves, make sure they're studying and learning, right? But there's nothing going to happen between the students where someone's going to cuss each other. It's not happening. Yeah. So I feel good in a sense that I don't allow it to happen because I don't like it and I don't think it's right. But it does happen in classes.
Yeah, man.
It does happen.
Sometimes secretly.
It does happen, you know. And I would say that side of it for teachers that are watching, you know, bullying does exist in classes and you kind of need to look out for that because that's not healthy either.
Most of the bullying's online now as well.
Thank you.
See, that's another thing.
Cyberbullying.
Now, what I would say is in schools is this now, like there's two phrases that schools throw around. And we need to diminish the stereotypes on them. Number one is banter.
Yeah.
That word banter gets used like it's no one's business.
What do you mean? Like
a child will bully another child.
Okay.
And they'll turn around and go, nah, man, it's not bullying, man. It's just banter. Like, we're just bouncing. It's bounce. It's bounce. Now, because that victim of bullying doesn't want to get it even more, they'll be like, yeah, it's just banter. It's just banter. It's just banter.
Banter for who, though?
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Because why is only one party laughing?
Exactly.
But he's saying, or she's saying that because they're scared.
Yeah.
They're scared. They don't want to get it even more. So it's like, let me just follow the crowd. So the schools need to establish what banter really is amongst the kids. Because there are certain times where, you go too far with your friends and whatever have you, and then it's like, you need to just chill. Like he's getting a bit stressed or she's getting a bit stressed.
Yeah.
But that side of things is up to the friendship groups. I think as teachers, we can't stop that.
Nah.
Like they have to really develop their own boundaries.
Yeah.
The child has to develop their own boundaries. Now we can guide them and make them understand what boundaries are, but it's up to the child to then say, okay, that's my boundary. I ain't going further than that, and no one's crossing that line. Right? That's the first thing. Second thing is, schools love to say we have a 0 tolerance on bullying. I don't see it. I don't see it. You're telling me 0 tolerance is if I hear it, I'm tackling it then and there. It's getting shut down. I don't see that. I see SLT walking away. I see staff, getting scared in the moment. They don't know what to do.
So do they need more? Do you think maybe teachers need more guidance and clarity with what to do? And what do you think?
So basically, for teachers, I don't think any teacher is well equipped to
deal with it.
And the reason why I'm saying, and not many teachers, maybe a few, because some of the teachers themselves might be a bully, quote unquote. Some teachers might have been bullied, so you might come from an emotional point of view. So if you see something, you might exaggerate the issue, or like you said, you might be a teacher that used to be a bully, so you're thinking, oh, it was just banter, leave it alone. Because
brother, you have to unlearn to relearn them, bro.
Because everyone has a different, everyone's views are different.
Yeah, but let's talk about policies.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the policies. Let's say there's anti-bullying, policy. So you'd have to go through the steps, right? So if you hear it, you act upon it.
Yeah.
It should be a case of you hear it, you act upon it.
But this is the thing though. If there's a 0 tolerance bullying policy, right? Then surely that would mean that the steps are quite simple. You deal with it then and you take it to SLT. And it's a serious punishment for that child. Why is it going through 6, 7, 8, 9 members before it gets to SLT? And then by the time it gets to SLT, it's all watered down. Or like 3-4 weeks has gone past, so the kid doesn't even remember what he's been doing or what she's been doing.
Because they don't want to deal with it. Because they themselves.
I think maybe it's a case of because it's so rife, it's everywhere. Yeah. It's like it's hard to deal with everything.
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's because it's verbal. Right, so okay, not all bullying is verbal, but the majority of bullying is verbal.
Do you think they take the physical bullying more seriously?
Right. If a child was punching up another child in the playground, that's expulsion.
Okay, so
you're getting excluded straight
so the
away.
Physical is treated.
The physical is treated because I can physically see this kid is on the floor, knocked out cold. Yeah, you're standing over him. It must be you. You're getting expelled. Simple as that, all right?
But even that sometimes is a wrong picture because
it's okay. It's not the right picture, but it's common.
Yeah, it's common.
It's common, right? But when it's verbal now, it's like they don't know what to do. It's like suddenly it's like an alien world for them, And what's even more powerless when it comes to the teachers is that you can tackle it in the playground, you can tackle it in the classrooms. But once they leave home, you're not there.
Yeah.
So when they jump online and start cussing people, cyberbullying, you're not there. You can only hope that maybe they screenshot.
Yeah, and the cyberbullying is growing. It's massive. In fact, probably more than verbal, cyberbullying has literally taken over in terms of probably the top type of bullying that's happening. Online bullying and so on, socials, whatever it is. But this is my take on it. This is my view, right? My view is this: 0 tolerance should be 0 tolerance, meaning
facts.
You hear it, you act on it in the strongest punishment you can,
Yeah.
because you're sending a message.
And it has to be done in the moment. Don't
And-
wait.
Yeah, because there's no such thing as banter. There's no such thing as banter to the person that's got bullied.
Yeah.
Facts.
So that person, if he said to you, "No, sir, I'm bullied," that's it. It's done. There is no banter now. And the thing is, with anything that you do in policies and that you show and punishments, then it will spread, and then students will see, okay, it's serious. So they do take it seriously, and it will get. And I think things can get better in that way.
Yeah.
Once it slips, once anything slips, it's very difficult to pull it back and to get it like back to like stopping it. Basically, it's very hard to stop it. What do you think?
On that note of like anything, like there's no such thing as banter.
Yep.
I think what most schools should do, maybe in their twilight or inset, is there's this book what one of my teachers introduced me to,
Yeah.
called DNA. By
Okay.
Dennis Kelly.
Yeah.
And it breaks down how bullying happens. It's actually a short play. Like
Yeah.
I think it's like in English and drama they use
Yeah.
it. But that book actually breaks down what bullying is, what it looks like,
Yeah.
what this whole banter culture is.
Yeah.
And I think
It's a lot of psychology in it.
yeah, and
It is.
if teachers are aware of that, and keep in mind, not every teacher grew up in the UK.
That's true.
Some
Yeah.
teachers, we have teachers from all over the world.
Yeah,
So
with
they're-
different backgrounds, with
background.
different
Yeah, man.
experiences.
So their understanding of, what is a joke and what is not a joke is very different. You know what I mean?
But the even ones in England, because slang evolves every 2 weeks.
Every
Well,
2
that's
weeks.
true.
Every
Yeah.
2 weeks.
That's
So
true.
what you thought was one word now actually means something else.
Something else, yeah.
So not only like for me, it's bullying has now become a culture. It's become a culture. Like the words the phrases that they're using and things like that. Even like the creativity in the cussing.
Yeah.
It's a culture. Now it's not a correct culture. So you have to squash that.
Yeah.
You have to diminish it. Because in fact, I'm not even going to use the word culture. I'm not even going to use the word culture. It's a virus. It's a virus. You have to squash it straight away.
Yeah.
But you see, in some countries, it's not so bad. I've seen I've seen there are schools in say Japan. Bullying is not in the
Not that
school.
bad.
Right. But that's because not only do they have a zero tolerance policy inside the school, but it's again that right there is a culture thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because the parents are teaching their kids from early
Yeah.
about bullying and things like
Exactly.
that. From early. Parents even go into schools and they have conferences with the parents and they show them all the things that the schools are doing, the policies, and like they actually bring the parents in to help them with the policies.
Yeah.
Based on, because it's like, well, if my child's going there, I might as well have a little stake in there somewhere. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So there's all of that. But I think the zero tolerance policy, like schools need to reshape that.
Yeah, very much.
And I think we really need to get over the fact that some teachers are timid and scared.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you put yourself in that position, right, you wouldn't want to be bullied.
Yeah.
So come with that mindset first. It's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
It's a mindset thing. Oh, I don't know what to do. He's very intimidating. Yeah, but if you was being bullied, you'd want someone to do something
Exactly.
about it.
Yeah.
So that should be your mindset. I have to tackle this. I have to tackle this because I don't want to be bullied.
Most bullying stems from sheep mentality, herd mentality.
Facts.
They always bully that unique kid, the kid that has a different interest, the one that's very different, the one that might not be all there. Or what I've seen and what I've observed is that most bullies, they do it in groups or in a setting where they can isolate the child and make them feel lesser than. You know what I mean? And I think what schools need to do is, I know we try our hardest to celebrate everyone's uniqueness, but I think we should enforce everyone's uniqueness and make it okay. So I don't know what you could do. Like one day, okay, what's something that only you like that is very obscure,
Yeah.
and then bring it to light, and then treat it like it's normal.
Yeah.
Because a lot of bullying stems from people being different.
Yeah.
Ignorance.
And it's ignorance. So much sheep mentality. A lot of people. Because the funny thing is when this incident happened, and I turned around and I said, "But are you not this person's friend? Why are you joining in?" And then they were like, "Oh, it was as that word, that keyword, banter."
Banter. Everything.
But then I was like, "Yeah, but," and then I explained it. I said, "No, you only joined it because you didn't want to end up like that person."
I think I want to do some ideas where we give solutions. So whether it be the school, so like you've touched on it, AB, just now, you were talking about what the school should do. From my side, I will say for teachers and schools, because I'm sure teachers will experience it and see it sometimes in a classroom.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're thinking, like, what shall I do? You have to follow up. My thing is follow it up somehow. Whatever your policies are in the school, check them and then just make sure you follow it. But what I'll say to schools is really go down and try to make it zero tolerance. Like what you do is, even it might need like going through more workshops, more training for teachers. It might need talking about it more, even to the students, where you're literally saying, you know what, our focus is we don't want to hear it. We don't want to see bullying. And if we do, let them know that we're going to clamp down because it shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Like make it like a big deal.
Yeah.
Not just on paper policy, but a big deal for the school, for the teachers, for the parents. Everybody knows.
And if you're going to enforce it properly.
Yes.
And I was going to say that you said the parents. I said any incident, always bring a parent in.
Yeah.
Facts.
Don't let that child go home.
Okay. So you're talking now, like what would parents, what would you give advice to parents,
So,
let's say?
First of all, I'll bring it to light to them, because a lot of parents.
To where? To the school?
Sorry, say again.
So like if parents have their child who's experiencing bullying.
No, so not only their parents, but I'll bring the bully's parents in as well.
Oh, I see.
So you're both coming in. None of these children are going home until because it's a serious matter.
Yeah.
We have to safeguard the safety of your child.
Yes.
Because imagine something happened and then I let your child go and the next thing they catch him at the bus stop.
Yeah, it's true.
So because it's so serious, both parents need to come in. You need to have a discussion right there and then.
Yeah, deal with it now.
And let the parents also, and obviously, but depends on how functional the parent is as well. You know what I mean? But obviously, you might not.
Do you know what though? I like that idea.
Yeah.
But I think with something like that, you have to play it situation based.
Yeah.
Because certain kids are the way they are because of their parents. Certain kids are very misogynistic, right?
Yeah.
Like they just, the way they treat women is ridiculous. Now, I remember there was this one child, he's always saying, derogatory comments, sexual comments against the girls, and the girls always complaining. I said, all right, bring me this kid, I'm going to deal with him. Right? So I spoke to him. I made him understand things. I even said, listen, like, if you was in a shopping center and someone was just whistling at your mum, catcalling, saying all these things, what would you, I'll bang him up, so surely then she has the right to do that to you because that was your response. Nah, but it's just banter, right?
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, I'm not getting through to you, right? I'm not getting through to you. So I brought the mum and the dad in the meeting with all three of them. I realized he is the way he is because his dad is the same way. He is, that right there is his normality because he's grown up in that household. And like the way that dad was talking to the mum, I was like, what?
Do you know what I would do then? I have to manage the father.
You have
to show that this is not acceptable here. That's it. And I'll 100%. Make it bait. Like, do it in your own house, I don't care. But once you're outside in society, in a in a very multicultural society, in a very gender neutral society, or gender equality society, we do not accept that.
Yeah.
And I let the parents know. I'll let the child know, and then that will be their last warning.
I think you're sorry, AB. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The parents need to get involved
very much,
100%, because what it is you're showing, firstly, you're showing the importance of this thing.
Yeah.
So bringing them in, they're coming in. Also, the parents then you're going to speak to them because they're coming in. They're like, like, we're coming into school for this.
Yeah.
You're showing how important this is to the school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also, no matter what it is, the parent's going to speak to the child, and that will hopefully also help to stop that situation, because they don't want to be coming back to school again over this,
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? This is gonna sound mad controversial. You know when a child is absent from school.
Yeah.
So after a while, you'll get a fine from the council. Fine the parents.
Yeah.
If your child is, if I've spoken
That's
to your,
interesting point.
If the school, like, not even just me as a teacher, if the school has spoken to the child, right, on say 2 occasions about bullying, and they're carrying on, you know what? I've spoken to your parents. Clearly, they're not addressing the situation.
Yeah.
I've spoken to you twice. You're not addressing the situation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slap them on a fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a fine. You got to pay that back within 10 days.
Yeah.
Right, brother. Nobody likes to pay money.
No one.
Nobody likes to, especially when it's going to institution. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it's going to institution, right? Nobody likes to pay money.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, yeah, after 2 checks, you will put your kid in check.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You will put your kid in check.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna be fined £500 because you can't shut your mouth?
You can't keep your hands to yourself. You can't behave.
You can't behave yourself. That
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I think that will definitely help as well.
you're gonna find a child because they're absent from school, but when they're in school causing ruckus,
You can't find them.
they might as well be absent.
Yeah.
That's
There'll
true.
be no ruckus when they're not in school.
Exactly.
Find them.
So, with the case of, what would you say to parents that their children are being bullied? What would you say for them to do? Let's say, what should they do? They should obviously chase up and make it a big deal with the school, because it's the school's obligation at the end of the day. If you make it, it's the school's obligation to do something, right? So if a child is being bullied and their parents don't know what to do, what would you advise them to do?
You know what?
Firstly,
This advice might not sound good or okay, but I will also tell the victim or tell the parents of the victim, try and help your child not seem so timid or not seem like a pushover.
as in, like, also work with them with their character.
With their character,
And
with
try and
their-
give them strength,
Yeah,
confidence.
with their-
Maybe
that's the word.
they could maybe do something also outside of school which gives them confidence.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
know, there's certain things, could be a sport or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give them
some
confidence.
sort
So
of
on, so on one side, you'd give them advice of maybe they need, not in a bad way, but they need to be maybe supported with regards to their confidence.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
one side.
100%.
That's one side. So
Yeah.
that's an angle to work with.
Yeah.
What else would you say to them?
I think.
I mean, obviously, you say to them, go to the school and make
Yeah.
it an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have
So-
every right.
Yeah. So parents go to the school,
Yeah, regardless.
make it the biggest issue going.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Because your child comes first.
That's
it's as
your
simple
child.
as that. Your
Yeah.
child comes
That's
first.
your child.
Your child comes first.
Yeah.
Right. I'll make it the biggest issue possible.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors,
Yeah.
where it's just parent and child.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to build their self-esteem.
Talk to them.
So
Build their
You
self-esteem.
need to build, and you need to give them. You need to give them a space where they're allowed to vent. First of all, because they're probably frustrated.
Very.
So you need to give them a space where they're allowed to vent,
Listen.
where they're allowed to talk, right? And by all means, right, for the first however many minutes of that conversation,
Yeah.
parents,
Yeah.
don't say nothing. Let them get everything out, and then you speak.
Yeah.
Then you talk.
Because there's probably a lot in there.
Right. But here's where the talking goes wrong. After the child has spoken, the parent is then demanding the child. Oh, well, you need to go and do this. You need to sort that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go and tell them. No, don't do that. Ask them questions and let them figure it out themselves. Because then it makes it like it's their idea.
Yeah.
That's true.
And they're more reluctant to do it because it's like, I came up with this. Not because you pushed them to come with the answer and everything else, right? You guided them to the answer, but they don't think that way yet. They don't think in that logical direction. So you need to work on their self-esteem all the time. Work on their self-esteem. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, it's all well and good the school putting in the zero tolerance policy,
Exactly.
but you can have zero tolerance and bullying and still have people with low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it might even be a case of a kid might just say, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I really hate today," and that will send a child into a madness because of their low self-esteem.
Yeah.
And that other child might not even be talking about you.
And
That's
one
true.
thing
That's
is,
true.
it's not always about like how you're saying or what you're saying, but you need to watch what you say as well. You know what I mean? Because I've learned this later on. Is like certain things, like you said, certain things can trigger a child.
Yeah, man.
But the way you can do it can break their self-esteem. You know what I mean? Like, do you know how many girls have like body dysmorphia
Boy.
because of what their mums have said to them?
Facts.
Do you know how many young men think like they're not maturing well or they're not growing properly?
Yeah.
Because of I don't know what older brother or older cousin have done, and comparison. You have to. I realize that children are very fragile.
And they're going through a lot.
For a lot.
Especially the
Bro,
changing.
that's that passive bullying right there.
Yeah, because sometimes the bullying
That
comes
passive
from
bullying.
their family. The bullying comes, and
Yeah, man.
a lot of it is culture. They'll think, oh, but I have to be like this, you have to be like that. Like, your child is not you. Stop living vicariously through your child.
I think during those very important years, because they are high school years, you know, from 11 years old, year 7, up to 16 years old.
Yeah.
The changes happen then.
Yeah.
And it's very and it's very important to keep close to your children, listen to your children, talk to them, because that development, whatever happens in that time, is gonna play into their adulthood.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my advice would be, and you are so right with that, with regards to parents, a lot of things sometimes can happen from around their family, you know, home. So, you know, be aware, watch and listen, and keep your children close.
Yeah.
What I would also just touch on the other side is, you know, the school can maybe do a bit more, I would say sometimes, with, let's say, the timid, unconfident children.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do their workshops, their work with them, because they need some support as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Because when we're teachers, right? So you can identify things.
Yeah.
So when you identify maybe a student that maybe needs a bit more confidence, the school pastorally maybe should be doing some more with them.
Yeah.
Building them, taking them trips, confidence, you know, like you were saying last time. So I think there's work to be done from home and from school.
Yeah. Both ends.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then from the student side, what would the student do if they're getting bullied? Don't keep it in. Because a lot of students don't say anything. Suppression. They keep all that, like,
they suppress
anger, frustration, scared, all inside, and they don't say anything to anybody, not parents or anyone. And so what that happens is that, again, that is really bad down the line. You have to talk to someone, please, you know, school, ideally, tell them what's going on.
Schools need to make, and not even just schools, society needs to make counseling and therapy normalized.
That has to be normalized.
It has to be normalized.
It's not strange or odd or
right,
wrong.
Exactly, because, and especially you saying about different cultures, different colors, different creeds. You know,
might see it as embarrassing.
Might see it as embarrassing, especially as young men. Oh, no, I ain't talking to no one. I got this. What have you got? You're crumbling inside.
Do you know what? That reminds me of what happened to this boy in one of the schools I worked at. And this was like the saddest thing that ever happened. Like, I felt for this child. Like, every day he was getting bullied. He was getting slapped up, all this stuff. And then I think one time I was to turn my back and I had to see this boy on the floor. And then I see the kids laughing, and then I just lost it with the class. I was just like, you're pathetic, you're weak. And I took the boy outside. And then I was more frustrated. Like, I'm like, why do you allow this? Like, and then I was being very honest with him. I said, these kids, they're not your friends.
Yeah.
And I said, they do not like you.
Yeah. And
he turned around and he said, but then who would I hang out with?
See?
And then I was like,
that one right there.
See?
And I said, look, you have to look for people that are for you. I said, go to the library. There's nice kids inside there and stuff like that. And then he's like, oh no, but I said, look, you're not that crowd. You need to know yourself.
Facts.
And you need to know, like,
that comes from
what you're into. Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. That conversation should be happening. That talk, that conversation at home should be happening. That there should be that communication where they're able to say, look, I need friends. So, but obviously, clearly, he's going to the wrong kind of crowd to get friends.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know that.
And I don't think his parents are aware of that either.
And you see you as a teacher now, if you had brought that like to SLT or whatever have you, they could then start doing things like certain schools have like buddy systems.
Yeah.
Like when a new child comes into the year group, they partner him with a buddy just to make him feel a bit more comfortable. Like, why does it just have to be that?
Yeah.
Like if you see a child every day sitting by themselves, like,
that's a really nice.
They're sitting by themselves for a reason, isn't it?
Good point, that one.
Yeah, man, give them a buddy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying to you? But again, like as schools, as teachers, like pick the buddy carefully. Don't just throw them in with
100%
with the random mute, and then they get bullied by the random mute.
They get bullied by the buddy.
by the buddy. So they was there like pick the buddy carefully. You know?
Yeah, imagine.
Can you know what I mean? Like,
come on, you kid.
He's my new best friend. Just get beat up.
No, but it's true though. Listen, a lot of kids are lonely.
Yeah, man.
A lot of kids are lonely, and so they look for friends, but they're looking at the wrong place in the wrong places.
Yeah, facts.
And so they need guidance, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's
Because
what they need.
the popular crowd, they see the popular crowd
Yeah.
as the go-to.
And it's usually the popular crowds that are the bullies.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what? As a child that has been bullied and been the bully, when I was being bullied, I was like, what, short year 7, with the other kids. Because I was like unique. I wasn't into like all the hard boy stuff. I wasn't street, I wasn't hood, so they thought they could take the mick. I came on like some kumbaya in my little kind of. Literally, I was that boy. Said,
I came
peace and
with
love.
You were that boy.
I was that boy with kumbaya. Man,
I came burning the sage, bro.
yeah, but then at one point, like I remember vividly in year 8, I was like, nah, this can't be happening. And I remember the first time someone tried it with me, and I did what they did, and then the person was like,
Yeah.
and then that's when I started from transitioning to being bullied to the bully.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I realized that if I act like them, if I behave like them, they'll stop it or stuff like that. And then to the point where I was doing it so much, I started doing it to other people that had nothing. And then like I had to really sit down and look at myself like, excuse my French, you know what I mean? Like it's not okay.
Because you've taken because you defended yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you've stuck in your defense mechanism.
Yeah, that was it. And I've just
Because
been in that mode.
if you come out of your defense mechanism, you're gonna get bullied again.
Yeah.
And because you don't want that,
Yeah.
that's what you're staying.
But then I said, you know what? I have to be me. Obviously, and I remember I was swinging every day, but yeah.
But that's the thing, though. That's what happens. And sometimes because you think it's the right thing to do, you don't realize at the time.
Yeah.
You're just trying to protect yourself, and you think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, because no one wants to be the victim.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you're being bullied, you're the victim. No one wants to be the victim.
Yeah.
So sometimes we might go the other way, but that way is not right either.
No, not at all.
But this is what the problem is. In the schools, it's like that as well. When you see you're the victim or you're the bully.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
You got to find that middle ground and hover there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a hard one.
I think it goes back to the policy. And I think teachers need to understand, that there are certain moments where you can't be timid. And like, I know it's easy to be like, oh, people come from different cultures and rare tear and this, that, and the other. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it don't matter what culture, what color, what creed you are. Yeah. If you don't like something, you don't like something.
Yeah.
If you see injustice, you see injustice.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to like police brutality now, I don't just see black people standing up for black people.
Yeah.
I see everyone standing up.
Everyone's doing it.
Do you know what I mean? When it comes to war in Ukraine, in Iraq, in Libya, in Syria, I don't see just the Syrians, just the Libyans, just the Ukrainians. Do you know what I mean? I see everybody standing up.
Yeah.
So you cannot stand up for one injustice and not for the other.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You're picking which is injustice for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So you need to understand that your timidness, you can't use that as an excuse.
Not at all.
You can't use it as an excuse for bullying. And like people could turn around and be like, poet arrest, like you're bare harsh, rare. But nah, like sometimes you have to put your foot down and just say enough is enough.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And if you're like, and that's what zero tolerance is. Zero tolerance is, I see it, I'm calling it, and I'm dealing with it there, and it's done. I'm dealing with it to the point where it's done. Like we're not having a round 2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're not having a round 2. Yeah, I'm dealing with it, so it's done. You got to shake off the timidness and deal with that, because if you was the one getting bullied, I can guarantee you, and you know what? Certain teachers get bullied in their classroom by their kids, and you're screaming for help.
Yeah.
You're calling SLT.
Yeah.
You're calling people on walkabout to come and help you.
I think
so. Why can't you help the youth then?
I want to touch on that on another episode. Yeah, it's true. Because like teachers get bullied too. So we'll talk about teacher bullying on another one. But this one is, you're right though. You're absolutely right.
You got to call it how it is, man.
You got to call it how it is.
Do you know what I mean? And another thing is because you said the word isolating. Yeah. Why did they isolate the victim? So you've then taken a victim out of mainstream, right? And put them in a pen. Yeah. You've put them in pen. And then
to protect them.
To protect them. Yes. But sometimes it does the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, mentally, it will.
It does the opposite.
That's right.
Because that child's
You're
that
like
child
being
is
punished.
thinking, that child's thinking they're being punished.
Yeah.
Like, why am I being taken away from the crowd?
Yeah.
Why is that person still there?
Yeah. Why am I being moved from the class? Why am I in another class?
So you have to really be careful about this whole isolation thing.
Exactly.
Because it could have a negative effect.
100%.
You know, and then what happens is because they're isolated and they're by themselves, they become recluse.
Yeah.
But you want them to talk.
Sometimes being by yourself is the worst thing for someone that's been in a high tense situation, because your mind will just start thinking of all these different things.
You need distraction. You need to be in a place where there's a lot of people.
You need community, because we're not born to be recluse. We need socialism. We need socialization. Yeah. So once you, like you said, recluse, that's when they start. That's when they start to deteriorate, and then they're just moving backwards, and then you're actually making the situation worse.
Yeah,
100%.
I've seen someone was a bully, and because of their reclusiveness and stuff like that, they just retracted so badly that to the point that they're now expelled because of how. Yeah.
So look, this thing is massive, but you know, at the end of the day, I think we've given the listeners a lot of points with this, and we touched on angles with parents, schools, and teachers, and I think for the next episode we'll talk about bullying with teachers. But guys, that was really good.
Yeah, that was sharp.
I really appreciate that, guys. That was excellent. So guys, end of the episode. Hope you liked it. Please hit the like, subscribe, smash the notification bell, and please don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Take care. See you on the next one.